Yeah.
Oh, okay, with Chris?
Yeah.
Riding today?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
You guys.
About another 5 minutes. Those come. Those are.
Trying to come?
Adam, this is Chris. Chris is my husband, Adam.
Adam, good to meet you. You too.
Read it. Good boy, Haiti.
You're gonna lose your ticket. 5 minutes.
Easy.
5 minutes.
Hi.
Good morning. Either car is fine. Watch your step.
Oh yeah, I did make a video.
Say hi, honey.
No.
No?
It's too early.
Too early. Ooh. Camel. No.
No.
We're about to ride the train where I live, which is awesome. You want to say hi? No? Shut up. No? No. Good boy.
Pretty slow start.
Inside the circulation. No, you want to
You
jumped up. You didn't quite know what to think.
Welcome to Railtown, folks. I'm your car host for the day. I'm Vicki. First, I want to do a safety message. Please don't allow the children to stand on the seats or hang out over the railings. The train does jerk occasionally, and they might fall out. Now, you kids, I want you to watch your parents, because if they stand on the seats and fall out, we're not going to pick them up. They're going to have to walk back to the depot. So, we also, it's already warm today. There's water and paper cups back here. Please stay hydrated. We don't want you to have a problem on our trip. As part of your trip, there's a roundhouse tour included. It meets in the waiting room at the far end of the building where you bought your tickets. That is well worth doing. They'll show you a lot of the intricacies of the railroad, and that's an authentic roundhouse, has been there for a very long time, and authentic tools, so well worth going to see. We're just passing the Petticoat Junction water tank. If any of you remember Petticoat Junction on TV, probably most of them looking around don't. But anyhow, they actually still haul lumber from the mill and Standard, and they haul propane tanks, big propane tanker cars up to Sonora, and I understand they do now haul feed to Chinese camp for diesel turkey ranch. The electric diesel is powered by generators. If you're here on a Saturday, normally we're pulled by Engine 3, which is our movie train, and I'll tell you a little more about that later on. Well, no, I'll talk about it right now, part of it. Engine 3 was built in 1890, and it was originally built for a railroad in Prescott, Arizona, and the gentleman that had the train, the railroad was less than successful, so he looked for another place to bring it. And he brought it here because of the gold rush. And anyhow, the Engine 3, which if you go on the roundhouse tour, you'll see it out in the roundhouse, was integral to building the railroad. and hauled along the ties and rails up here, really. And it was brought here because it was the second gold rush in this area. And it also hauled sugar pine lumber and apples. Amazingly, there were large apple ranches in the county at that time. We're coming up on a little reservoir. That reservoir hasn't been there for a long time, but I think with the grass dying down a little bit, you can now see the dirt mounds and rock mounds where the hydraulic mining was done at one time. And the cattle must be stomping the grass down because it's laying down a little better now. And you can see some of those down below the reservoir here. So the railroad was put here, and it was successful for a very long time. And then as time went along, they put for gold mining slacked off, and they no longer did it in the area, so it wasn't necessary. But it continued to haul lumber from the mills, and the financiers from San Francisco that assisted in building the railroad actually started up some of the mills, the one at Standard and the one at Westside in Tuolumne. When the tracks were originally put in, they only went as far as Jamestown. Later on, they went to Sonora, to Standard, and then on to Tuolumne. There was a spur that went to Angel's Camp, and the biggest use for that I can hear, yes, it did haul some gold and lumber, but Sundays was a big day for them because they would take the cars over there and take people over for baseball games and picnic lunches. And you'll see some of those cars in the roundhouse if you do that tour. Now that one had a lot of very steep grades. There was actually a bridge across the river. Train California Grizzlies. And I think it's kind of sad that those California Grizzlies don't exist in California anymore. But he did train them there, and he had 3 bears that were his pets. And one of them, Samuel, is actually the bear on the California state flag. So, and at one point, the financiers from San Francisco really wanted, they would take stage rides and come up here and they'd take a stage to Yosemite. Well, as you can imagine, it was a very long trip. So they decided there should be a train from here to Yosemite. So they built the tracks out this direction for about 17 miles. And then the earthquake of 1906 happened in San Francisco, and the financiers pulled their financing and they abandoned the tracks, and eventually that was all taken up. So, anyhow, I looked and I can't even see any signs where those tracks listed long. It was a narrow gauge, and so, but there's still no signs of the railroad bed. I would be real interested to track that down. It was powered by coal. Well, the coal in California was in inferior quality, and it didn't produce peak used to produce enough steam. So they converted about that time. Oil was discovered down around Bakersfield, and they powered the train with oil. Well, today, thank you very much for changing the oil in your cars, because that's the oil we use to power our steam engine. So just know that that's one of the places your oil goes. Pretty soon we're going to be hitting another crossing, and once again the locomotive will blow the horn, and it's 2 longs, a short, and a long, and that's warning the cars at the crossing. This crossing we're coming to does not have the railroad arms or anything, so it warns people that the train is coming. The very last long one, interestingly enough, they put blowing it when the front of the locomotive is on the far side of the road, because by then it's pretty obvious we're following behind. Those bushes you see out there with the light yellow colored blossoms on them are actually wild elderberries. And they're actually look over here,
Give us 760 where it's like, oh, $100
mine tailings. That's the those mine tailings are the leftover from the Sonora mine, which was put there in 1986. And in 1992 it closed down because the trucking costs. Rock left here on this side. This is serpentine rock. The people will tell you that's where the trains come out. Well, I need to tell you that this train was never rocked. And other than in the 50s. And it did make a convenient place for the stuff that they don't know. Think about it, if we had large pieces of pork and you're on horseback, I don't know if any of you have saddlebags or did, but I don't think I could get much pork in my saddlebags, so it wouldn't really be worthwhile. So if you look down at the bottom down here, this is Woods Creek, and that somewhere along Woods Creek is where the gold rush in Tolman County originally started. Woods Creek has been instrumental in the gold rushes in various times in Tolman County. But interestingly enough, only about 35% of the gold in California has been taken out of ground. So there's still gold out there. And I think after this winter, we probably have more nuggets down in the creek down here. Because the process of forming gold nuggets is that they break loose. Gold is contained within quartz, and there's a major, what they call mother lode, we're traveling over it right now. And there's bolts in the tracks that lay in the surface into the streams that actually disintegrates the quartz around the gold, and when the gold comes out, it forms the nuggets. So we're making annual water that's come down this year. It's probably gold. But I need to tell you this, that there's the lilies, the white ones, some of the longhorns they have left right now. And it's in this area that I have seen the wild turkey more on this side of the train. And so my perspective drive, so I haven't seen it yet this year. I saw a lot last year. So I don't know whether they move their flocks to other places or not. Now we're going to cross a big fill. And this fill used to be a wooden trestle, and as the trains got heavier in weight, they decided they felt the wooden trestle was unsafe, so they filled it with rock. We're going to be stopping shortly at a rock quarry, and the process is going to be rope loading. This is going to unravel and back up. We have a fire speeder truck following behind us. They're going to pass us by on the side here. Then the local will get behind us, and then the local road will come around and recouple on this end. So if you want to go down there and watch the uncoupling and the recoupling, you can do that. Be aware that there's jolting that goes on with that, and sometimes it's better than other turkeys. And so be sure you're hanging on to something. Don't. I say that easily, I'm not, but I thought I had train legs back the other day. So, anyhow, enjoy your stop here and wait till the engineers
car. You turn around? No, you can't leave. You turn around. Sit. Go away. Honey. You love me? Yeah. Pretty cool. You enjoying it, Shadow? Hmm? Yeah? What about you, Hootie? You enjoying it?
I'll let you guys know if you see the flat top mountain back behind us, you'll see it other places. That is actually a lava flow tabletop mountain that's been here for millions of years. It's very much the same as the Devil's Post Piles over by Mammoth, and it's the same, only I don't think there's very many columns left in the water.
Whatever. Definitely, yeah.
We're both from Sonora, but I'm originally from here.
I grew up there. I've been riding the train since I was little.
This is my first time on a train.
Alright. Well, your dogs are certainly well behaved.
They should be.
And thank you for putting them over there so that